Hello and welcome to the Sunday evening live stream. It's going to be another sniffly one as allergies are again hitting me hard. So this is where we're at, but you know, it is what it is. Just getting everything set up as far as managing the stream goes. So as you jump in, feel free to ask questions, leave comments, things like that. It's going well. Just dealing with allergies, but going well otherwise. What's going on, Lil Dog? Hope everyone's Sunday is going well. And you're going to get a jump start on the new week. Hello. Pretty cool to meet you. NC1 is wondering if you bought new headlight assemblies when you put the LEDs in. No, I didn't buy any new headlight assemblies. I just have the stock NC2, NC3 headlights, non-HID, so I didn't have to mess with any of the ballast or anything like that. So just got new bulbs, threw them in, they're good to go. HID and burn too bright. It burns. I haven't heard of that before. That's interesting. I would check your ballasts. Make sure that your ballasts are good. Otherwise, I know that a friend of mine has put in new bulbs, but he got HID bulbs. So you might want to get HID bulbs to match your HID ballast, or it might not work correctly. So I would double check on that though. Oh man, sorry, I thought I was gonna sneeze. Very excited. It's Friday to get my car. Oh, that's good, man. That's good news. I'm glad that you got your car fixed so quickly. Considering mine took forever, but I'm glad yours got fixed so fast. Yeah, you can definitely do it. Granted, my halos are custom made, so you'll have to install the halos in the headlight bulb or the headlight housing itself. So you could definitely do it. Yeah, it's bad this year. Yeah. Thank you. Now I got some tea. The oven method is very shady. It's kind of a tried and true method. A lot of people have done it lot of people have been doing that for a long time, so it's really pretty easy. I wouldn't be too afraid to do it. If they sell assemblies that simply come apart to install the halos, probably not. It's really not that hard. I mean, it's like you buy the assembly and it's everything's gonna take a little bit of custom work, but it's really not as hard as you might think it is. I made a couple videos on doing it, so and I've taken my headlight apart multiple times now with no issues. Every Sunday, I think you're pretty new here. I haven't seen your name before. Every Sunday, I just do a live stream for people to ask questions, talk about any of the videos. It's just an easier way to answer anyone's questions or talk about whatever than answering back and forth in comments, because some people don't see it and some people do. So basically, it's just car talk, questions, chat, things like that. So nothing specific going on, but yeah, basically anything car talk related to the channel. What was your method to get the spray paint to come out so smoothly on a sheet wheel trim? Yeah, so the first time, I've spray painted a lot of things. The first time I did it, it was a little cold out in the garage. And I tried to heat everything up with a heat gun, and I don't think I did coats that were light enough. So on this new round, I heated up the garage. I put a heater on the garage, and it was probably 70-ish or so degrees. So it's a little bit warmer. I sanded everything down with the harder grit than softer grit to make it a super smooth surface. And then I just sprayed light coats. I think I did about 5 coats and let it dry completely in between. Basically, I just took my time, and it just came out a lot better. So I think it's a combination of letting everything dry and letting everything be warm. And that really did it for me. So I'm super excited with the results. I think it came out a lot better than the orange peely. I mean, and I didn't try too hard on the first round. I just kind of sprayed it black to have it be black. But as with most things, taking an extra bit of time and effort will make it come out better. Thanks for the info on the tire. 1799 is mounted on 235/40. Got no rubbing. That's good, man. Yeah, that's what I have, and I've had 0 issues. So I'm glad that it's working out for you as well. Actually, Black Trench. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was quite surprised at how it came out. I was really worried that it would look. I was really worried that it would just look kind of bad, but I'm pretty surprised at how it came out. And yeah, definitely, I'm always here to answer questions. I try to respond to every single person that comments on every single one of my videos. I always try to respond to Instagram messages, emails, things like that. So anytime anyone asks me anything, I always want to answer it just to help people. How's it going, Norm? Yeah, high humidity too. It's definitely been dry out here, but when summertime comes here in Texas, it gets really humid, so it's an all around bad time to try to spray paint things. Yeah, I hear that the rose or the roll bar installs are pretty tough work. Yeah, I think painting is like I know back when I first started doing like car mods and things like that. Um, the cheapest way to do some things to customize your cars or to like paint stuff. And man, there's been a lot of times I've messed up paint in the past. Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm gonna order the hard dog bar whenever I get the time. Um, I like the Blackbird Fabworks, but I mean I do so much stuff on YouTube now, like to share all this stuff with everyone that if I couldn't do a roll bar install, I wouldn't do it. So I'm just not gonna buy it. Um, yes, you're allowed to talk about the 2.5 hint. I've already ordered a couple parts for it. Um, so yeah, we're definitely allowed to talk about it. They sent me an email and said it's like, well, did they really send you an email saying you couldn't take pictures and videos of it? That's a little ridiculous. It's like there's like three companies that make roll bars for our cars. There's Blackbird, uh, Hard Dog, and then OBX makes a roll bar for our cars. And it's like, why you already bought it? Why can't you take a photo of it? It doesn't make any sense to me. So as far as the 2.5 stuff goes, it's gonna be so from right at this moment, it is so my car is my daily driver. In less than a year, I should have another one. I should have another daily driver. That's when I can really start doing anything as far as the engine swap goes. But I am going to start the process now. Um, that goes so basically I've ordered the massive speed kit. There's a list of other little tiny parts you need here and there. So I'm gonna start picking those up, and then basically from there, I'm gonna order the engine. There's an LKQ that's local to us, so I won't have to pay for shipping or anything like that. So it should be a pretty inexpensive deal to get. So I'm gonna pick up that and just basically start building the engine from there. Um, Goals would be things like the new intake manifold as well as a set of cams, just to keep it a little bit higher horsepower than a normal just straight 2.5 NA engine swap. I want to do a little bit. I want to make my car a little bit faster. So getting the engine and just kind of building it up over time to keep the content going, as well as doing everything else I want to do to the car. And then after a while, it'll be able to just I can spend a week dropping it in. It'll be good to go. So that's sort of the plan. Um, but it's something I've been thinking about for a while. Just right now, it's slowly kind of starting to pick up. So yeah, I haven't ever done an engine swap before. I've done a lot of research with most of the things that I do. I research a lot on how to do it, and seems like enough people have done it in their garage that it makes me confident enough to do it to myself or do it myself. So I'm gonna try to take it on myself. As long as I have another car to get to and from work for the week, I'm not worried about it. I think I can kind of figure it out and use the resources online to finish it. Um, so mainly, I think there's a couple people I'm gonna reach out to see if they want to help. Um, but otherwise, I really do think there's enough resources online that I want to show that people can do this in their garage if they want to. So I think I need to do it myself if I can prove that. It just seems like so many people are doing it nowadays that I've really got the bug to do it, and it should be pretty fun. So I'm curious to see how it goes. But I want to take my time and make sure if I'm going to do a motor swap, I want to make sure it's exactly how I want it. So that's cams, intake manifolds, things like that. So It'll just be, if you're asking low or high compression, I guess it's just gonna be um, regular. I don't know. I'm not gonna go for anything crazy on the engine. I really want a car that can kind of hit the back roads and just be really good. Take it to an autocross or a track day. That's one thing that I definitely want to start doing with the car is like I was thinking today how making a video on painting some steering wheel trim isn't exactly the most exciting thing, but it also means that I'm kind of reaching a point where I've done a lot of things to the car that um, I've wanted to do, and it's not that I don't have more to do. It's just that there's content that I could be doing that's like driving the car and taking the car out and things like that. Guys, follow Instagram dudes. Didn't think it'd be too hard. Yeah, there's quite a few people that have just done it, and then I've been talking to them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've done the 2.5 swap." There's a lot of people I've met personally that have done it, and they speak a high amount on doing it. So, her low end makes. That's what I've heard as well. Is like the fact that you get so much torque is just it's totally worth it, and I can see how because I mean there's plenty of times where I'm on the highway and it's just like, you know, you got to drop 2 gears to get around someone quickly, and it's kind of annoying. But I would love to do a turbo, depending on how long it all takes. Like if I get the engine and I build it up and it's still like a while before, I might just go turbo or supercharger or something like that. I mean, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. Don't know a whole lot about cars. I want to learn more. Questions, answers. Yeah, I mean, if you want to learn more about cars, it's a lot of research. So like, I'm no mechanic or anything like that. It's just a lot of experience doing things and trying out things. If it doesn't work, you do it a different way. It's just a lot of trial and error, and you can look up. I mean, with the internet, you can look up anything nowadays. So I haven't done a dyno yet. I was going to do a dyno. They had Track Dog Racing had a dyno day recently, but they canceled the dyno runs. So I'm waiting for their next dyno run day, and I really want to go see what the car makes. I haven't had a chance to yet, so we'll see. I really want to do that though. Car is starting to open up speed of the process tuning right now. Yeah, if you're in the process of tuning it, just wait, man. Like, it only gets better. I will admit, I don't know a ton about forced induction yet. I know quite a few people who have done the supercharger, and they all love it. But as far as doing it yourself, I haven't. I know one person that's done it themselves with the tune and everything, and they like it. But as far as I know, they haven't done anything to their engine otherwise. So it's really going to be a lot of research and slowly building the engine. So you guys should be able to expect videos of engine builds. If you want to watch some, so far I've been following another YouTube channel called Derpy Works. He's been building a 2.5 engine. It's been really interesting to see, so that's definitely something I've been watching. Tune and full bolts, 170. Yeah, I don't know how much mine is making, so I'd be curious to see what the horsepower is. It's really, I see a lot of different numbers for the engine, so I'm not positive, but 170 with full bolt-ons does make sense. But with that 2.5, the ultimate goal would be 200 horsepower for the car. If I could get that with building up the engine, I would be super happy. Joe's hit on the mark. Miata Ford's about the rear mount turbo, but it might be about to go. Yeah, I know. What's his name? Armand has done a rear mount turbo, but I haven't talked to him too much about it, and I don't really know anything about it. I'm gonna definitely go to Joe for most of my 2.5 swap questions. Um, he's helped me a lot in the past regarding my tune and things like that. So I'm definitely gonna look to him for more advice, things like that. But I haven't really heard anything regarding that. 2.5 is more room for improvement. Should go any. Yeah, that's true. Once you, I mean, when I went down to Dinotronics, um, and I visited down there for my tune, I saw some cars that had 2.5s with forced induction, and they were like, it was insane. It was a whole different car. Like, you never see a Miata go as fast or an NC go as fast as they did, and it's like you want that. So, if I'm gonna figure out a way to go faster, I for sure will. I had my 2.5 in my backyard to go, but I really want 2.5 to go out. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like my car hit 100,000 miles, and I feel like I take pretty good care of it. I do oil changes and things like that, and it doesn't feel like it's on its way out. Like it doesn't have any hiccups or anything like that. Um, but that's kind of why I'm not super concerned about it. If my engine were to go out on the way to work tomorrow, obviously I would go straight to a 2.5 and start on it. Um, in that case, I'd probably send it to Joe just to throw in a new one and be done with it. But since my car still works, and I'm planning on getting something else to drive to and from work, I'm going to try to build the engine up myself. That way I can continue making these YouTube videos and things like that and just show everyone the process of how I do it. I have an NC2, so it's I guess a second gen NC, or I think in Europe they call it like a Mark 3.5 or something like that. Second and third gens have a lot better. That's what I've heard. I've heard that the NC2 and NC3 have forged internals and they have a higher rev limiter. And I'm pretty sure that's true. I don't know how much of a difference that it makes, especially with a tune. I think they can raise the rev limiter on a tune, but um, I can't imagine that it's that much different than a different engine. Toss the idea of doing a 2.3 to keep redline close to stock, more torque. Yeah, I know. So I know with like the 2.5s that the red line is lowered actually to, I think, depending on like your gear ratios and things like that, your peak power might be closer to 7,000. So with the cam and everything, you can raise that up, which is what I'm hoping to do. Yeah, I see a lot. It's so cheap nowadays to buy a broken NC1 and just throw in an engine and you're like good to go for a fun car. So my red line is, I think, I didn't have it raised or anything. I think my red line is like 7,300 or 72. I think with the NC1s it's 7,000. I think, but I'm not positive. But I think the NC2, NC3 is 72 or 73. Yeah, it's possible. I know a lot of people have seen the coolant tank crack. Um, but in their defense, like, that's one of those things that, as a car owner, that's like one of those things you really shouldn't have to worry about. But, if it happens, it happens. If it's a quirk with a car, then that's just the way it is. 7,500. Yeah, they might have raised your rev limit then. I'm not sure. Yeah, the overheating thing is just, it's one of those things, like, if it happens with your car, and if that's like the thing that happens, then that's just the way it is, I guess. Thing about NC1s is we have weak internals. Yeah, it's got to be like a compounding issue. Like if it's one thing that affects another thing, and that affects another thing. So yeah, the death tick, I've heard of that. I know, like, it seems like with every generation Miata, like even the older ones, like I remember the NAs and NBs, they would just tick like crazy. But that was just lifter tick, so. Okay, so then mine's probably close to 7,500 then too, if that's what yours is, because I don't think I changed my red line limit at all when I did my tune. Um, so that would make sense as to why your rev limiter is raised. They probably raised it. Who are you doing your tune through? Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, they know what they're doing, so they probably raised your rev limiter already. I mean, the tune is one. It's a really good. I mean, if you want, you know, bang for buck, the tune is really good. Played around with your race run features. Yeah, I have all of mine on. I've used the I love the rev match, the downshifting auto blip thing. The flat foot shifting is pretty fun to use. The only thing I haven't used yet is the launch control. Just because I don't know. I'm kind of scared to use it, honestly. I don't want something to break, but I am curious to test it out. 13 has no tune stock till I get Ikutech. And also I definitely recommend getting a tune, but not until you have, like, if you can get a header and intake with exhaust, the tune will be it'll be a world of difference. So definitely get the supporting mods for the tune. That's kind of why, like, I have all that stuff now that I want to do the engine swap, because I'm just ready for a little bit more. First thing I noticed with my bass tune, my car sounded like it was breathing more. Yeah, I know that they, at least with the bass tunes and things like that, they kind of start to adjust the timing and things like that. Just wait until you're almost done. Like, there were times, so when I first got my bass tune, it felt a little bit faster, but as the tune went on, there were some days where it would almost feel slower than before, but once it's all the way done, it'll be like a world of difference. Tune a waste if you are forced to keep stock header. No, I wouldn't say it's a waste. Um, they do a lot of, like, timing adjustments. So I mean, one big thing that I remember, and this might not be a huge deal, um, is, yeah, you'll definitely get something out of it. For me, it gets really hot in Texas, and you turn your AC on, and you go to hit the gas in first gear, and there's a torque limiter in first gear on the NC Miata. So you're in that first, second gear, and it's like bogged down almost. The tune totally gets rid of that. Um, but you'll definitely, I mean, the way Mazda does it is they have to make a car for everyone. Obviously, we want to drive fast, we want to modify, we want all the features, the race ROM features. So the tune, I mean, definitely worth it. I know Dynotronics does a bench tune now for, like, I think $150. They do a bench tune. So it's just totally worth it at this point. It's such an easy modification to do that it's just totally worth it. Yeah, you can always go back on the remote tunes too. I know I can only speak for Dinotronics, but when you buy the tune, you have Joe. So I think even when I do my 2.5 swap, since I've already paid him, he can send me a new tune and it won't cost me anything extra. So if you get the tune now and you add a header, all you have to do is do some data logging and you can send it out and you'll get a new tune back and you can start the process anew and you won't have like any new charges or anything like that. And my beat rush intake through lead codes. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. With the tune, I did it mainly for my emissions. I had to get rid of that second O2 sensor, at least the P0421 code. Um, so when I did the steering wheel install, I had to unplug the battery, and I actually had a code pop up a few times, and I think it was P0132 or something like that, which was a lean code. I just cleared it out a few times, and it doesn't come back, but um, it's kind of interesting that that still popped up, but eventually it just goes away. Stuff like that is real finicky, and I don't understand how it works, but um, I haven't had any codes otherwise. I think it can. So with the I don't think the tune should affect your smog check at all, as long as you buy carb products. Like I know Goodwin sells. I would really talk to Goodwin Racing because they're in California. I think they have a carb approved header that has a cat in it, and it's definitely better than the stock header. I would look into that as well, but it shouldn't affect your thing because, as far as I know, as long as you're I'm not sure what they do in California, but you don't have a different engine. You have a header with a catalytic converter, and you have a mid pipe with a catalytic converter. So you have the two catalytic converters still. It shouldn't throw any weird like sensors off when they do the sniff test. So you should be good. But yeah, I would definitely talk to Goodwin Racing because they should have all that info for you. Right, and in the OBD2, it works fine. I plug mine in every so often, and it will show. It shows all the sensors are working. I don't have any because in Texas at least they do an OBD2 check as well, um, and they check to make sure that all your sensors are online and that they're all reading correctly and none are like waiting to be received. And I passed emissions last year. They do the check and it was all good. So you really shouldn't. It'll show no codes, and it'll show that all your sensors are ready. So you should be good. Clear came back. It was causing hesitation, but sucked. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an intake myself. I would maybe check if you haven't cleaned your MAF before. I've cleaned my mass airflow sensor before. I'd maybe check that. Yeah, I really think you should be fine for California law. As long as you have those two. All right, thanks, Rotary. Thanks for joining. We'll see you. We'll see you next week. Yeah, as long as you have those two catalytic converters, because I know they call them California cars. That's why most NC Miatas come with the two catalytic converters. Um, I think you should be fine. And Goodwin sells a kit that should be carb approved and everything. You only have 21,000 miles? Man, I envy you. I've got like 80,000 more than that. That's a lot. It's scary knowing that the engine will last that long because it's like I really, in a way, I kind of want it to go so I can put in a new one. Looks like the carb headers are the 2006, 2008. They're all the same. Yeah, don't worry. They're all the same. You can order. I think I ordered the 2006, 2008 OBX header. There's no difference in anything, so you'll be good. Yeah, you should do it. I think that's something that I've been thinking about too, is doing a full exhaust video, because I kind of got that stuff set up before I started really making videos. People do like the exhaust videos. Um, I've really liked watching your videos because you've like done a bunch of stuff that I haven't done yet. So it's kind of been refreshing to see someone else do something. So yeah, I would definitely do a little exhaust video. Um, I've been thinking about kind of doing something similar too. So yeah, you should go for it. It's like honestly, there's a couple other people that I've seen make NC videos, um, but it's really nice to watch other people do it too, because it kind of like influences me a little bit and gets me motivated to go do other things to my car. So it's kind of nice not being the only person to do it. So I like watching like Derpy Works with the his 2.5 swap, um, and like watching your videos, doing your like. I watched the intake one, and that was really interesting to me because I haven't ever done an intake, and I've been curious to do one. So I liked that. Carb EO numbers only applies to. I'm not sure how that works, so I can't really answer on that. But I do know that all the exhaust parts are pretty much the same. Yeah, you gotta take off like the whole bumper and stuff. It's pretty crazy. But it sounded pretty good. I remember on my Kia I had an intake, and it just the sound alone makes you feel like you're going so much faster. Yeah, it's a cool sound. It's different than an exhaust sound. Yeah, man. I mean, I appreciate it when everyone watches my videos. So, um, it's exciting when people watch your videos for sure, and I know it means a lot because it means a lot to me too. So, yeah, I definitely like watching, and I follow your stuff. Well, I would imagine they would have. There's got to be somebody with the carb number years that apply to your car. It's got to exist. It can't, because it can't be that much different. It can't be that much different than what the previous years are. Remember when I was looking for OEM? Not sure if they made one yet. Well, I think that's just the OEM one in general, because the OEM one in general should have a catalytic converter. Like in Texas, you don't need two catalytic converters, but I have one. Um, I had a catalytic converter on my mid pipe and on my header, so I think all the cars made after a certain year have to be California legal in that way. looking for aftermarket. Oh, okay. Yeah, my header's illegal. 49 states except California. That's ridiculous. It's so silly to me how they can just dictate that kind of stuff. That's true, yeah. I have seen stuff like that too, is you can't even purchase it. It's just so crazy. It's almost like it's its own country. It's ridiculous. Expecting an inch away for nothing. That's crazy. It's like you would almost think that like they wouldn't care that much, because I think like it's like I don't know. I know they're following the law and they probably lose their license, much like a bar might lose their liquor license if they sell someone under 21. But it's like, come on. Spoiler, where is it from? How much? My spoiler is from. Oh no, you're good, man. Everyone can ask questions here. So, my spoiler is from Innovative Dynamics. I actually found it on eBay for used. They pulled it off a salvage car. I think at the time I got mine used, it was $160. They sell it in a carbon fiber and fiberglass. I have the fiberglass one, but I know. Innovative Dynamics and Carbon Miata both make a spoiler. Yeah, it was an insane deal. The guy thought it was damaged, so on my spoiler, whoever had it before me left their rear emblem on. So they cut a hole on the inner shell of the spoiler so they could fit the spoiler over the Mazda emblem. And the guy thought it was damaged on eBay. And I was like, it can't be damaged. Like, if there's a hole on the underside, that doesn't do anything. So, like, no one's going to see it. But he thought it was broken, so I got a pretty good deal on it. Yeah, the gel coat, I mean, that's typical. It is really good quality, so I can kind of vouch for the price. I think I like the Innovative Dynamics one. I like the little bit more square and, like, kind of rounded at the top. I know that Carbon Miata makes a really aggressive, like, square ducktail. So it really depends on what you want. But, yeah, mine is Innovative Dynamics. I think the aftermarket spoilers cost a lot because it really is supply and demand. Now that these cars are becoming a little bit easier to own, like price wise, there's only so many companies making parts, so I think they can really jack up the prices. On the flip side of that, you have issues like OBX, who, while they're a good brand, because I have like an OBX exhaust, I wouldn't trust OBX to make an aftermarket roll bar. I would never buy that. But now you have companies like OBX that are building roll bars for the car, and I just don't know if I trust that. Yeah, I'm still planning on getting my spoiler paint matched. I still have that bumper that I need to get paint matched as well. I'm kind of debating whether or not to do a gloss black or paint match spoiler, just to like have some contrasting items on the car, but I'm kind of leaning towards paint matched. Oh, my cell phone holder. I can look that up because I honestly, it's not a stupid question. I might leave the spoiler black. I haven't quite landed on it yet. Yeah, it's not a dumb question because honestly, I love my cell phone holder that I have for my car. Um, it did get a little messed up because I've had like 3 phones for it now, and with the Note phone, it's like a really wide opening, so I have to pull it out really far. But I did fix it, and it wasn't too big of a deal to fix. But let me look really quick. I know I have it. I think I have it saved on Amazon. Yeah, I mean, there's no stupid questions, so no sweat. I just want to find it because I want to make sure I tell you. I want to make sure I tell you the right one. Yeah, man, I ordered it like almost 3 years ago now. Let's see. I must have ordered it in 2016. I didn't know it was that old, to be honest. There it is. Okay. All right, I'm gonna send a link. I'm gonna send the link in Amazon Associate. So if you end up buying it, it'll help me out a little bit. No, you don't have to buy it. Just letting you know, it's an Amazon Associate link. So if you do decide to purchase it, no pressure. You don't have to buy it if you don't want to. I just want to make sure I send the right thing. All right, so they made a new one, but it's the same brand and everything. It's just the the updated one because when I had the phone I had when I first ordered it was the S7, but now I have a Note, and it still fits because it'll fit multiple phones, but that's the one that I got right there. Yeah, I love my Note. I had a Note for a while. I had a Note 4, and then I went to the Galaxy S7 Edge. And it was a nice phone, but I really missed the Note, so I got the Note 9, I think. Or Note, yeah. Is it I think it's the Note 8. Note 8 or Note 9. It's one of the new ones. Not the newest, but I've had it for a couple years now. Yeah, I like the windshield mount because you can switch it in between cars. That's just what I prefer. And I don't want to put like a sticky on my dashboard. I already have one for my GoPro, and I kind of regret putting it there, but I like the windshield mounts. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It helps the channel, so. What head unit mounting kit do you have? Looks clean. I have Crutchfield. Um, Crutchfield, basically, you can put it in any car, and they provide a whole entire kit. That's where I ordered mine from. So I don't think I ordered the wiring harness. I got that from Fry's Electronics, but Crutchfield will have all of your head unit stuff. No problem. You think you're always going to run soft top? I really want to get a removable hard top. The soft top is awesome in Texas. We get a lot of nice weather. Like today was absolutely beautiful and perfect. But when it gets hot, it is, I mean, you can feel the heat radiating through the soft top. And I do like the look of the soft top, but a hard top would be nice on a hot summer day with tinted windows. That would be pretty nice. Yeah, I would love to get a hard top. Yeah, the hard top is nice. Yeah, the fastback style is very nice. They do make a fastback fastback hard top. I don't know a ton of people that have it, so I don't know the quality, but it does look pretty cool. See if I can link a picture. Yeah, it does look pretty nice. The garage very hard top. It's just about the same price too as the OEM hardtop too, which is kind of interesting. With the rear fender flares, yeah, it would look really aggressive. Don't you lose trunk though with fastbacks? No, I don't think so. It splits around. It splits around your trunk. You can see from that link that I sent. The guy who has it on there, it fits right around your trunk, and it does look pretty cool. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. Sell me your OEM one for like $1,000. It'll get you almost halfway there for the fastback. Four Gs with the hardware. You mean like the NC or the ND? Because the RF does look a lot like that. OEM hardtop for sale on Craigslist. The guys asked $2,500. They do cost that much. Is the thing. Is like you can go to the dealership and buy one for 2,500. So he's not far off. But for a used one, the lowest I've seen someone buy a used one for was, I think, 16 or 1,700, which is a pretty good deal. Get the fastback swords. Yeah, it's pricey, but it's a really nice looking part. And if you think about it, there's a lot more like product that you get compared to the stock one. So it makes sense why it's more, but it's really not as far off as the OEM one is than I thought. Yeah, 30. I mean, it's expensive, that's for sure, but some people, I mean, some people drop that kind of money. Interesting dilemma. I should take the NC up there by winter choice. I would take it. I mean, I would take it when I was up. I went to Washington earlier last year, or later last year, when I was in Seattle, and like some of the roads up there were absolutely incredible. I really wish I had my car. You should. I think you should definitely take your car. You should take it. It's like a once in a lifetime thing. You should go for it. Gotta make YouTube money. Yeah, that would be nice. So you're doing Sundays going forward? Yeah, I used to do Fridays and then I started doing Saturdays. I think Sundays are the best days to do these. So it should be. I'm gonna try to keep to a schedule of Sundays at 8:30 Central Time. Make stores get vandalized, broken into college parking lot. I mean, it always is. Just for me, I leave my doors unlocked, just to not have my top broken into. I leave my doors unlocked, and I leave nothing in the car. I've had zero issues. You have your trunk button turned off, so no one can open the trunk without the key. It's one of those things where, like, we have cars that are vulnerable. But as long as you don't worry about it, you know, it's not a huge deal. Roads around my hood, mount. Yeah, that's nice. I would just bring it then. I mean, you got nothing to lose. It's a once in a lifetime kind of thing to have your car up there. Um, yeah, I drove a, I rented a Kia Rio and drove through the Skycomish Mountains, and it was the worst experience ever. Um, I really wish I had a nice car to do that. Got to do Chrome up 7. Thanks, man. I'm glad you liked the videos. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a Kia Rio. It was. I mean, for a daily commuter car, it's fine, but it was awful. It was not good. See you later. Have a great week, and hopefully I'll see you next Sunday. All right, my phone battery is at 3%, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I'm glad we had a lot of people join this week. I'm happy that I got to talk with everyone and talk cars and things like that. So I hope you guys liked the video from earlier today. If you haven't, make sure you check out the little website I have. If you like any of the shirts, maybe you pick one up. It'll help with the 2.5 build, but no pressure there. Just if you want to check it out, check it out. I appreciate it. So I hope you guys check out the video for next week, and I hope to see you in the next live stream next Sunday. So have a great week, everybody, and see you.